To begin this lesson, we'll need a pencil, a piece of paper that is going to be horizontal on your desk, color pencils, which are separated between the warm colors and the cool colors, markers separated between the warm and the cool, and then finally, you will also want to get some crayons and again separate them between warm and cool. Organization will make it so much easier for yourself. Now, I would love to use watercolor for this mixed media lesson. However, I'm going to wait till I have you in my classroom or I have that supplies for you at home. Now, you could first draw the horizon line right across the paper, but to help you out, you would also fold it, hot dog style. Fold your paper so that it makes a nice straight horizon line, and then trace that folded line. You don't have to fold the paper, that just makes it a little bit easier. Then we are going to be using our pencil to draw half of a rising sun. It's just like a big C, or half of a ball. When we draw the rays of sun, we are going to draw spaced out, organic, wavy lines. Now, I wouldn't make them too wavy, and I would not make them too close. I have about 7 different organic lines there. For you, it doesn't have to be 7, but I would not do more than maybe 10. Now, when we come down to the landscape, we are going to draw a couple more wavy lines. These ones are horizontal. And you're going to notice that some of these lines actually collide with one another. They touch, and that is okay. Now, once you are finished with this, I want you to get your warm color markers and begin tracing the sun. Now, you can use any color anywhere you choose. That is completely up to you. So I would just use one color at a time, spread the colors out in random areas, and save some room for other colors as well. I chose my sun would look a little bit better with an orange ring around it, in my opinion. Yellow would look just as great. Now, once I'm finished with this, I'm going to take my my cool color markers, so my purple, blue, and green, and begin outlining the landscape. Now, maybe this looks more like mountains to you, or maybe this looks more like ocean waves. I would say to me it looks a little bit more like ocean waves. But of course, you have some freedom here. You are the artist, so if there's anything that you'd like to add or change just a little bit, that is completely up to you, and you are more than welcome. Now that we are finished tracing, you are going to want to get your crayons and your warm color pencils. Warm crayons and warm color pencils. We're going to start with the sunset, and first I'm going with my color pencils to color in the center of the sun. You're just going to get the freedom to choose where you want to put these different materials. Where do you want color pencil? Where do you want crayon? Where do you want the orange? And where do you want the red? It's completely up to you. Now, when you do color, you're going to notice that as you come to the edge of the paper, it can get a little bit difficult. What you want to do is try to keep that paper from folding upwards, or you can change the direction of which you're coloring. So you'll notice I did that just a second ago. Now I'm going to skip. Find another space that maybe I could color in this orange. As long as you are coloring neatly, you're not scribbling, you are showing that you are using good craftsmanship with your marks as you color, then you have the freedom to really just have fun with this. And where are the colors going? It's up to you. It does not need to look like mine. Now that I'm finished with the color pencil, I'm going to move on to my warm color crayons. Remember, this is a mixed media drawing, so we're going to be using a couple different materials. Again, just like your color pencil, make sure that you're using good craftsmanship, trying to fill in all the empty white spaces as neatly as you can. And if you need to turn your paper when it comes to those edges, I completely understand. That can be a little bit frustrating right there on the ends. I would suggest change the direction of which you're coloring. Now that I am finished using my warm color pencils and warm color crayons in the sunset, I'm going to get my cool color pencils and I'm going to color in the landscape down below. Remember, you get to choose where these colors are going to go. I would start with one color at a time and just separate them, leaving space for the next color. I have colored about 3 of my shapes with color pencil, so I'm going to save the last 4 to color in with crayon. Now you're going to notice that I'm going back and checking if I have any empty spaces and filling in those little areas, because when you take your time and really put your focus into each little space, that's when your artwork can look fantastic. Now that we are moving to the very last space and we are about finished with our complete drawing, I want you to take a look at the different materials you used for this mixed media drawing. Can you tell a difference between, for example, the marker versus the crayon? Can you tell a difference between the crayon and the color pencil? If we were able to use watercolor, which you will be using later this year, I guarantee you will see a very strong contrast or difference between those two different mediums. Don't forget to sign your artwork so everybody knows what fantastic artist drew this. And have a wonderful week. I hope you have enjoyed this drawing.